Hi, I'm Royce Gracie, and you're watching The Spiel.
I'm here today, and all I hear is how I'm chasing crazy dreams. They'll see, 'cause I've got perfect songs and melodies just waiting to come out of me, and you'll sing along like, oh, whoa. Fancy words, clever lines, and tales that take you back in time, and you'll sing along like, oh, whoa, and they'll know. Everyone will know. They should have believed in me.
Should have believed, baby.
You're watching The Spiel.
And you're watching The Spiel with Angie, and Julie will be back. Julie will be back. Sometimes you just have to take the helm. You have to just be ready to roll. And, you know, I have, believe it or not, this is not a news program. We've established that. We don't talk about bad news. We don't talk about things that are too timely, because really we just want to be oblivious to it all, right? We don't want to really know what's going on in the world. But unfortunately, sometimes it seeps through, and we do feel a need to address certain things. So that's what we're going to do today. I keep saying we, but that's what I'm going to do today in Julie's absence, because, you know, when she's here, it's tough to be serious about anything. Do you remember this is the woman who uses, what, kitchen utensils and stuff on her head, Matt? It's really hard. It's really hard to be serious with her. But I know that this is a topic she will agree that we need to touch on, because it's back in the news. You know, this whole thing about being ugly to one another. And sometimes the problem is you don't know when you can pick it. Like I can pick at Matt, you know, all day long. I can like poke, and Matt's fine. Jason, on the other hand, is a little more sensitive. I can't do that to Jason, because Jason gets very upset. And, you know, I say all of this lightheartedly, but it's true. It's happening in schools. It's happening across America, where people are still being mean. And if you pick that person who isn't prepared to handle it, you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what their reaction's going to be. And unfortunately, we've seen it time and time again where they choose to check out. And then at that point in time, how do you feel? You know, if you're the big bully and you didn't realize what you were doing to this individual, how do you feel at that point when they've ended it because it was too painful? And I think part of the reason it's more painful now is because of social media. In mainstream media, we never covered these types of instances because we didn't want to encourage copycat behavior. But in social media, man, you're going to know about everything in every town. And some of these kids just cannot handle it. And we're hearing some remarkable stories. Like there's this jock who came out and he talked about this guy, I guess he was deemed a nerd, you know, wears the glasses and he leaves school and he's carrying all of his books out. And the books fall, and his glasses come off, and nobody stops to help. And this jock comes over, apparently raised by remarkable parents, comes over and says, hey, let me help you with those books. And so he picked up the books and he's walking the nerd home. He even jokingly calls him a nerd, and the nerd's fine with it, you know, as long as you're talking to me and you're being my friend. And so they become friends, and they realize they have more in common than they thought to begin with. Well, years passed, and this nerd was the valedictorian. And on graduation day, recognized this jock because on that day he had cleaned out his locker. He was going to go home and end his life. And because that young man took time to get to know him and to hold his hand and become his friend, I mean, look at how it changed. It was such a pivotal moment, and you don't know in any given day. We have those opportunities, so you need to keep your eyes wide open. And if you see something like that, step in. If you don't, we're going to have like the likes of Royce Gracie come and take care of you, because we know Royce Gracie now on this show. He's actually going to be here, talk to us a little bit about defending ourselves, because that's what it comes down to. We want to defend ourselves, and we want to make the most of life. So we want you to be along on the ride with us. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Coming up on The Spiel.
He hiked up his pants and started to dance, kicked his feet high in the air.
There's a place that's tucked away from it all, where around every corner awaits something new, every venue something different, something for everyone. It's a place for quiet afternoons and joyous celebrations, a place for family, music, and food. This place isn't some exclusive resort. No, This is your Walker's Bluff.
I decided to be a nurse because I have a passion for helping people.
Three Rivers College is the smart choice. We offer quality education at an affordable price.
And you get the full college experience.
I think it's a good foundation. They do have a really good nursing program, which is very competitive.
Three Rivers College is small enough to know your name.
Hello, I'm Shataria Fly, and success starts here at Three Rivers College.
Find out which location is closest to you by going to trcc.edu.
Keep the cold air out of your home this winter with a new energy-efficient entry door from Southside Lumber. From steel entry doors to sliders, we have all the latest in our showroom. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can get it. In fact, you can visit us online and browse every make, model, and color option available. Customize your new entry door and let us deliver it, well, to your door. More than just lumber. Southside Lumber.
Confidence, trust.
It's not just an account, it's a relationship.
It's not just the loan, it's adding value.
When I said we're passionate about the people we serve in our trust department, gosh, I mean it.
Customers always come first.
At the Bank of Heron, it's not just a loan, it's a relationship.
If we're going to be different than our competitors, it has to be that relationship, that friendship, that trust.
It is not just a bank, it's a relationship.
Yeah, I think it's building the relationship.
And you're watching The Spiel. We are absolutely delighted with this next guest. I don't remember you being so tall.
Well, I wasn't. I got
you've
some
grown.
shoes.
Yeah, you're on blocks there.
Yeah.
This gentleman comes to us from South Carolina, is that right?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Charleston, South Carolina. Clay Rice is an internationally known silhouette artist.
That is amazing. We're going to get into some of his work, and it's just, I don't know how you do it. The details and the tree with the child and coming out of the tree.
Well, I usually do it with paper and scissors, but occasionally with a blowtorch. So.
See, that's it. Let me just go ahead and forewarn you in this interview, there's going to be a lot of that right there, because we can't stay on task, so much so that this silhouette artist has also expanded his horizon, if you will, and is a children's book author. Mm-hmm. And as if that wasn't enough, you wanted to show off and get back to your songwriting days. And you're just like all-encompassing now, correct?
Yeah, it's the combination of things that really work for me. Okay. And that's why I get lots of calls from all over the country. They want the whole package. They want the books, the music, and the silhouettes, okay. Everything. So.
What came first, Clay, the silhouettes or the books?
Silhouettes came first, and I started writing songs just about the time I started cutting silhouettes. I've been writing songs since I was 14 years old.
How long does it take you to do one of those, like of a child?
To cut a silhouette of a child takes me about 45 seconds to a minute. Now this is different. This is
too much detail, yeah.
Yeah, this is, we're talking about one of these.
Right.
And this is
these
Angie and
fast.
I.
These
this
take
is
about
yesterday.
a minute.
That's Julie, and this is me. No, Julie, okay.
These take a little longer, and as you'll see, if you look at the illustrations of some of my books, mm-hmm. Some of those illustrations can literally take over 100 hours for one.
Oh, I know.
So yeah, it's just, they run the gamut as far as time they take. It depends on the detail and what it is, but the profiles are quick. They take about a minute.
Where did the passion to do this come from? My
grandfather's been in my family for 84 years. I'm third generation, so my grandfather started in 1930. Okay. His name was Cox Rice, and he was very prolific and very well known. And people come to see me wherever I am in the country, and they bring me his silhouettes to show me that they had done back in the 40s and 50s. It's amazing. It really is a one-of-a-kind, uncanny position to be in, to have that legacy and to have people that are so proud to have those silhouettes done by him.
Did your folks dabble in silhouetting at all?
My dad did, yes, and my uncle as well. Yeah. And so I am the third generation.
Yeah,
so.
These books are amazing, and you know what? Your silhouettes are garnering you a lot of attention. The books garnering you a lot of attention. A Moonbeam Award winner, the IPPY Best Children's Picture Book. Talk about, it's pretty tough to toot your own horn, but hey, you got some accomplishments out there. Let's talk about that.
Well, what I try to do is just do the best I can. You think what you do is good, but it's nice to be recognized by other people, because any songwriter can tell you that they think they have a great song, sure. But mm-hmm. until you bounce it off of somebody else, you're not really sure. Mm-hmm. And so when things come up like the awards and everything, then you've done a good job, and you've given the message that you were trying to send.
Sure.
That's the thing you've got to communicate.
Yeah.
I asked you about your books, Clay. They come from people you know, you yourself, your family, or are they just made up?
Well, they come from a variety of sources. You know, they pop into my head when I'm driving down the road to the next town. So I just write things down as I do, and I've already got over 20 stories written and just waiting to be illustrated and printed.
Your publisher's like, slow down, we got a lot of work to do here.
I'm blessed enough to have a publisher who basically wants to do anything that I pitch him, so I'm very, very blessed. He's a great publisher.
Well, I would say so because, you know, let's toot your horn more here. You've got The Lonely Shadow, which this was your first title, correct?
Yep, The Lonely Shadow was my first one.
Well, it's now, check this out. Okay, this is the largest catalog for books, the Ingram Publisher Services book, the magazine that has all the books, you know, that are being generated out there. Hey, look who's on the cover. Oh, by the way, and on the back. Huh?
That's crazy.
You know,
this is my family's business.
Yeah, Ingram Publishers. Yeah, that's
on the
awesome.
front and back.
They are. Ingram is the largest book distributor in the world, and when I was on the cover, it came as a total surprise to me. My publisher, he's so busy that they don't tell me much, and so he just sends me an email and say, "Look who's on the cover of Ingram's fall catalog," and I'm like, "Wow, that's really nice." Thank you, Ingram.
That is awesome.
So this is actually the first page of The Stick, which is my new book, and that's the opening page of The Stick.
Right there.
How many books we got, Clay?
The Stick is my new one. I'm working on the fourth one right now, finishing it up, and it should be published in the spring. So it's called Aunts.
Can you tease us with the name?
Yeah, it's called Aunts and Uncles. It's about a child whose uncle steps in an ant bed, and he never could dance before, but he ends up being the world's greatest dancer, and he dances all around the world. Aunts and uncles, uncles and aunts, dancing across the world with ants in his pants.
That is great. Is that what you're going to sing for us in the You're On segment today?
That's one of them for sure, yeah.
Great. And the other title, Mama, Let's Make a Moon. That's just
cool.
sweet.
Mama Let's Make a Moon is my second book. This one is very Blue Ridge. I always wanted to do a book from that area because we vacation up there a lot, my family and I. And the colors are so beautiful and everything. And so
show me something. What you got?
And so I just wanted to kind of do a tribute to not only the landscape, but the people from there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because they're so hardy and strong. And I mean, you have to realize what they went through and how strong they are, and the fact that they could still have fun and have a great time through all of that is amazing, and it just shows. I just think they have a lot of spirit.
Well, and you also talk about the simplicity of your books. I mean, you're talking about encouraging kids to use your imagination. I mean, it's so difficult in this day and age with the technology.
Absolutely.
But the fun you can have with a stick. You know, boy, we did it, you know, when we were kids. Get outside and play.
That's right.
Most of us got whipped with it. Yeah, some played with it.
You play with them, you get whipped with them. You know, there's
That's twisted.
1,000 uses for a stick. So.
Yeah. Now, the other thing I do want to point out that the stick is being made into a ballet.
Yep, the Ballet of Tacoma, the Metropolitan Ballet of Tacoma, Washington is using that for ballet, and so we're very excited about that.
Do you need any extra dancers? Because have you seen us?
We're both good. You're a singer. I'm a better dancer.
You are a better dancer.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you're going to need to have your ballet.
Do not go down to the
shoes.
No, please. Shoes are bad today.
Please come down.
Shoes. I just decided to put them on. They're comfortable.
Those are fancy garden shoes.
They are fancy gardener shoes. But you know, the other thing, just in case you're out there and you might be fluent in another language, the books are also being printed in Chinese.
Yep.
And I'm so happy. I can read them now. No, I don't know Chinese.
Well, you know, I can't read Chinese either, but I'd like to have a couple of them, so I'm going to try to get them to send me a couple of them, and I've had some of my Facebook friends asked me if they could have one as well, so
That's awesome.
order
Man,
some
that's
of those.
cool. He's going to have to go to like that other country and accept an award. You know, they're going to say his name. He's going to, Clay Rice. He has to come to the stage. And
you're going to have to go there for a book signing and learn how to put your name.
Absolutely. I would love to do that.
Well, we'll follow you. And we'll
Never seen the Great Wall before in person, so I'd love to go.
What a great silhouette.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It sure would be.
You know, we also want to point out that Clay's been here with us a couple of days. So happy to have hosted you along with Harness Tech Ed and Growing Media and a school. A couple of schools in the area competed, and the students came up with their own silhouette, and Unity Point Elementary in Carbondale, Illinois won, and he performed yesterday at school, and the kids were just ecstatic.
Well, that's my passion, is performing for the young ones, and you know, it's like I say, it's the whole package. It's not only the books and the silhouettes, but it's the music as well. They really love it, and they respond to it. And all of my books have their own theme songs. So basically what I do when I go into these schools is I do a reading and then I play the song, and I go to the next book, do a reading and play the song, and they have a great time with that.
Wonderful. How can they find your books?
They're available through Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or most of your local bookstores, independent bookstores.
Yep. And ricegalleries.com if a person can't
Rice
make it
Galleries. My Facebook is Silhouettes by Clay Rice.
Okay. And when we come back, you're on, right, with one of these little ditties.
I'm on, yeah.
Okay. And we'll be right back.
I had to read it in the newspaper just to tell you where he's been.
I wanted to be a career military man. I had done 9 years, and then budget cuts came in. The best place to start over is college.
Really nice people. So far, it's been a really good experience.
It's amazing, and it's all because of the teachers. I mean, they're the funniest, most down-to-earth people I've ever met.
I am motivated by students' goals and the outcomes that they desire for themselves. I actually came to Three Rivers and met my husband here.
Success starts at Three Rivers College. Most definitely starts at Three Rivers College.
Watch the Healthy Hippie Chef on The Spiel. These days, video is everywhere. TVs, computers, even your phone. With so many ways to use video to reach your potential audience, it's become an important part of doing business. If you like the commercials you've seen during the spiel, and if your business could benefit from a creative approach to telling your story, with attention-grabbing visuals and thoughtfully executed scripts, perhaps it's time you give Growing Media a call. We'd love to hear from you.
Anybody can loan you money. Not everybody can understand how to make it fit for the bank, fit for you. 12 years ago, I went out on my own to do something different. I needed a loan. I talked to Steve Cook at Farmers. Steve took the time to listen and understand exactly what it was I was trying to accomplish. That personal investment that he had, not in cash, but his time. I think that's kind of their niche.
Give us a chance to show you no one will work harder or care more for you.
The Spiel presents You're On, 100% original new music.
Here's my new book that's coming out in the spring. It's a little, the song from it called Aunts and Uncles. I had an uncle who just couldn't dance, although he tried so hard. So one day he stepped in an ant bed while he was walking through the yard. He hiked up his pants and started to dance, kicked his feet high in the air. We stared wide-eyed, he did a shuffle and a slide, yeah, just like Fred Astaire. He danced right through the neighbor's yard and sashayed down the street. He disappeared over the hilltop, but he never missed a beat. Aunts and uncles and aunts, dance across the world with ants in his band, going everywhere he's never been before on his animated world tour. Where'd he go, y'all? Well, he two-stepped through Texas, flamenco through Mexico, he can Costa Rica. Man, he really put on
animated world tour. He's so exasperated, so underrated, but he's frustrated and he's highly anticipated. Now he's the world's greatest dancer. He's in all the magazines. I had to read it in the newspaper just to tell you where he's been. Well, that was this spring when he learned to dance, and now it's way past summer. So if you see my uncle, please tell him that he's 3 months late for supper. Aunts and uncles, uncles and aunts, dancing across the world with aunts in his band, going everywhere he's never been before on his animated world tour. Aunts and uncles, uncles and aunts, dancing across the world with aunts in his band, going everywhere he's never been before on his highly frustrated, slightly aggravated, anticipated world tour. Woo! Thank y'all.
Nancy.
I need one of those.
This goes 13 miles per hour. Isn't that
Man,
cool?
you can take that down Route 13
I
now.
know.
But I'm a product of my father's work.
There you go.
At John A. Logan College, we know what our mission is all about.
Syllabus? It's about you.
It's about me.
It's all about me. It's about you.
It's about me and a better future for him.
It's all about me.
Because here, it's all about you. Visit jalc.edu. Registration underway.
We get to know our patients and have more of a personal relationship with them.
More one-on-one patient care and spend a little more time with the patients, which is something that really drew me to the profession.
That's the definition of primary care, to get to know the patient, get to know all of their medical conditions, everything that's going on with them.
After seeing them in the office, I keep taking care of them in the nursing home.
I feel like I come to work just to provide patient care.
A new year means new opportunities at John A. Logan College. Starting this spring, you can enroll at the college's Community Health Education Center for the low price of $95 a semester. Students get unlimited access to both the pool and aerobic and weight training facilities at the state-of-the-art center, giving them the best value in Southern Illinois. Start the new year off right by making it about your future and your health, because at John A. Logan College, it's all about you. Registration is underway.
And you're watching The Spiel. Thanks so much for being with us today. We're coming to you from our Southside Lumber Kitchen, and we've got a couple of people here we have to meet. We have a guest co-host, Candy Bradford, in from St. Louis.
Yes, filling in for the illustrious Julie Ingram.
That's right. Julie couldn't be here, but you know, you'll do little blonde hair, not red hair.
I know. I was hoping maybe I'd get a red wig, but...
Yeah. It'll work. We don't want blonde hairs in our food today. No. We're going to do a salad. We've got Jane Painter. You know, you've heard the story, 6 degrees of separation. Well, this is about, I think this is 2 degrees because we featured the Alto, what was it, steak and eggs, Ashley? We featured the Alto steak and eggs. It's a delivery service down in Alto Pass. Remarkable service. I stayed at a little loft there, and on the refrigerator it said, you know, steak and eggs delivery in the morning. How about that?
Wow. You can't beat that.
Yeah. You had to cook it yourself. They'd bring it to you. But, you know, they would bring it to you.
Therein lies the problem.
No chef and apron, huh?
Exactly. I mean, you could if you spent a little extra, they may stay and cook it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jane is here, and Jane is very much like the lady we featured before. You believe in doing things off the land, and you actually have a saying that you use, Jane, from garden to the table. Talk about that.
Table. I'm an avid gardener, so this is right up my alley. I'm also an avid cook, and I found that the fresher that you can get your vegetables, the more tasty they are. Okay. And we're making a strawberry spinach salad. I grew my own spinach for the very first time this year and was amazed at the difference in the taste.
Yeah.
And how well it kept in the refrigerator, like weeks.
Do you have issues with the little bugs and such getting on the, because I know lettuce, there's usually a big problem.
No, actually lettuce is not a bad thing.
Okay.
It's really pretty easy, and spinach is also a great crop to grow.
Well, it helped that you had the electric fence around it and, you know,
and my husband's usually with a gun.
With a shotgun, okay, good.
So those are the critters that are, the big critters are what like to eat it.
And strawberries are tough to grow. Do you grow your own or you buy from?
I do not grow my own. You know, that's one of those things you need to decide what you have the room for and what you can buy cheaper.
Okay.
So I don't grow my own zucchini either, but I do grow my own English cucumbers because they're so much better than the grocery stores.
English cucumber. Did you know?
I didn't know because they're skinny. No seeds.
So if you eat those, then you become skinny, right?
That's what I'm hoping.
Excellent.
Only those.
Yes.
Exactly. Only cucumbers. Okay, so let's dive right in. What are we going to do?
Okay, we are going to go ahead and I've got the spinach rinsed. And one of the things most people don't realize is when you wash your lettuce or your spinach, even though it says pre-washed, it really isn't 100% pre-washed. So we're gonna go ahead, I rinsed it, and then we're just gonna spin all the moisture out. Because if you do not do that, have you ever had that?
That is fancy.
I need one of those.
This goes 13 miles per hour. Isn't that
Man,
cool?
you can take that down Route 13
I
now.
know.
That's faster than a bike. We should tell people that you are a pampered, not peppered. You do pepper with certain things, but pampered chef. Do you know about pampered chef?
I love Pampered Chef.
Oh, I love
have
hearing
tons
that. I
of
love
things.
hearing
I have
that.
tons of
Thank
things.
you.
But I don't have that, and I may have to purchase one.
Hey, we're going to encourage her to leave it today as a party
there's
gift.
Or just forget it. If you can't find it when you leave.
We're going to go ahead and do the toppings for this, and then we're going to whip up the salad dressing.
Oh, we're whipping salad dressing.
We are zipping it
Has
up.
a special tool for that.
Oh, there's lots of special tools. My theory is if you can make it fun in the kitchen, life is so much easier.
Absolutely, because Lord knows we spend enough time in there,
We
don't we?
do.
Taking the food out of the to-go containers.
Shame on you. You need to
Do not do that.
I do not do that.
Straight out of the container.
Kids, there you go, styrofoam. Put it in the trash when you're done.
Oh my goodness. So we're going to
She's
just load
not
this
happy
little
with
thing
that.
up, and you are going to absolutely love this. So
Say it isn't so. What's going to happen?
we're going to slice.
See, this is the beginning.
I have one of these for garlic, and it's going to make it in slices, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Mine's peppered.
You want to try this?
Well, actually, you know what? I know
Get
how
right
to
in
work
here.
it.
Well, get right in here, girl. Show us how
We're
you
going
work
to slice some onions too. And you're just going to turn and press.
Hey.
Even I can do this.
Wow.
Do all of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, okay, I've washed my hands, but look how thinly sliced.
It's
See?
paper
It's
thin.
amazing.
And then we're going to take a red onion. This is actually from my garden as well.
Stop. Now you're just showing off.
Well, you know, not every year do they get to look like real onions. You know, sometimes they're just like little green onions. If you score down 4 sides of this, much like you were going to peel an orange, then you can easily pull that skin off.
She really minimizes the waste. You know, I slice in, rip it off. I got about that much in the trash, and then there you go.
We have a great test kitchen that tests these things, and most every item in our catalog is exclusive to Pampered Chef, which says that you can't get it anywhere else.
Okay.
So they might take an idea that they see somewhere else
And improve upon it.
literally just go to town with it.
Okay.
So
it's a team of professionals.
it
coming
really
up with
is.
the Pampered Chef.
It's a
Okay.
whole home office in Northern Illinois. Yes.
Wait, Northern Illinois? It started in Northern.
They're in Addison, Illinois. We're saving that one
Well,
for
tell
our
me,
garnish.
did it start in a little kitchen? The lady was 90. I mean, give me a little bit of backstory. Here.
Doris Christopher is the one who started the company.
Okay.
And she started in 1980. And she was a stay-at-home mom, and she wanted to provide for her 2 daughters' college education. And she did not want to go back to work full-time. So her husband says, well, what about doing like a Tupperware party? And she says, I do not like home parties. And they took their $3,000 life insurance policy or their life insurance policy and borrowed $3,000 on it and started the company. We're going to just roll the lemon a little bit to soften it up. It kind of breaks the little corpuscles is the only word I can use. Then we're going to take the microplane and just grate off the outside edge.
The zest. This is the lemon zest everybody's talks about.
Exactly. So we're just going to scrape that up and we're going to throw it in to the manual food processor. This is one of my little secret ingredients in the salad dressing, and it's a lemon balsamic vinegar. It is so tasty just by itself that you can literally drink it.
Okay, to recap,
so we've got lemon juice, we've got a little bit of lemon balsamic vinegar, and you might have noticed that I put mustard in there.
Yes.
That is Dijon mustard.
Is that sugar?
Yes, that's sugar.
Salt would be, woo.
Yeah,
we would
that'd be
have
too
an issue
much.
with that.
Okay, so this is the same mechanism, except it has 3 blades down there as the salad spinner. So you're gonna do the exact same thing.
Okay, I've got that clocked at about 5 miles per hour.
This one doesn't go like, well, you can't really see the blades down there.
Okay.
So that's
You have
really
that
just,
too?
I don't have that.
You do now. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
gonna
now,
forget that
here's
too.
one of the things that you always need to do, and I did scope this out earlier.
Oh, good.
You always need to test for flavor.
Yes, yes. And don't stick the spoon back in there, right?
Right.
Okay, right.
It needs a little more sugar.
A little sugar, okay. What are these? Is this candied pecans?
They are.
I recognize them. I love them.
I made those at home, which I'm glad, so that we didn't have to worry about getting that.
She made them herself.
She did. Jane did, yes.
She probably grew them.
No, I did not
trees,
grow
they're out
them.
front. They're absolutely out front.
She could have. Oh, I do have this thing. I do have the salad.
She has it all, doesn't she?
She's not invited to my party. It will mean no points for me. She's got everything.
I always find something else that I need.
So this is the little mix, measure, and pour, and I like it.
Mix, measure, and pour.
Because then
And it has a recipe on the side too.
and there's a whole there's 4 recipes here, so you literally put the ingredients in as it's
Isn't that
listed.
cool? Yeah, I mean it tells you right there.
That's really
We
good.
also use this for scrambled eggs or omelets. So you can mix up 6 eggs in there if you have one that's not stuck in the refrigerator with salad dressing in it. But when I'm making salad dressing, you might as well just make more, and then it will refrigerate pretty much indefinitely. So we're just going to drizzle that over the top.
Wow.
And
It smells good.
Okay, so then the eggs and the candied yam or the candied pecans coming in on top of that?
Yep.
Okay, Jane, listen, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to sample, okay?
Okay, perfect.
We'll be right back.
My dad came here in the early 50s and started. My name's John Smith. My brother Terry and I have Smith Dairy Farm, and we're producers of milk for Prairie Farms Dairy. We're outside at 4:30 in the morning. Cows need fed 365 days a year, and you learn the mannerisms of each animal. You learn who they are. Prairie Farms, they depend on us to be finished milking at a time when the truck's going to come to get the milk. We're all one big team.
Proudly farmer-owned.
It's part of what we've been raised to do.
Prairie Farms.
I worked at a factory, and I'm actually a dislocated worker. I went to school right after high school, but I took a very long break, and I'm coming back.
Three Rivers College is small enough to know your name,
but big enough to start your future.
We offer quality education at an affordable price.
And you get the full college experience.
My name is Natasha Seal, and success starts at Three Rivers College.
Find out which location is closest to you by going to trcc.edu.
Confidence, trust.
It's not just an account, it's a relationship.
It's not just the loan, it's adding value.
When I said we're passionate about the people we serve in our trust department, gosh, I mean it.
Customers always come first.
At the Bank of Heron, it's not just a loan, it's a relationship.
If we're going to be different than our competitors, it has to be that relationship, that friendship, that trust.
It is not just a bank, it's a relationship.
Yeah, I think it's building the relationship.
Family owned and operated for nearly 70 years, Southside Lumber is the place to go to be in the know.
Our fleet of trucks deliver things where you need it, when you need it, and how you need it.
We get the order and go. I've been as far as Sparta, Metropolis, Parmi.
And Southside Lumber delivers more than just lumber to every corner of Southern Illinois, bringing whatever you'll need for your next project or home build.
One-stop shop.
More than just lumber.
I know.
Southside Lumber.
We love making new friends. Visit us online at facebook.com/SpielOn.
And Jane Painter is serving up from garden to table today the strawberry spinach salad. But there's so much more in there.
There is. There's nuts and onions and
Yes.
it's just deliciousness.
Well, we're going to sample it now, Jane. So, I mean, Candy's hoarding all of my, all of her salad.
Yeah,
So
you snooze, you lose.
I'm definitely going to have
when
my
it comes
own.
to food especially.
And I love the boiled eggs, so maybe just a little bit of that.
Okay.
So this is at the Pampered Chef restaurant, right?
That's
Where you
right.
go through the line.
That's
and,
right.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. And there's a little extra dressing if you want some extra on there.
Well, I know you're trying to keep us within a certain caloric intake. Talk to me about calories with this, or is that something you even have to be concerned with?
If you wanted to, you can, instead of using the sugar, you could use a sugar substitute, or a little bit of honey has worked just fine. Or just use the balsamic vinegar, not so much lemon juice.
You have outdone yourself. The
Isn't
spinach
that
is magnificent, and I see what you're talking about. From the garden, much better.
It really is. It tastes so much better.
It's wonderful.
And once you have the salad, it's really hard. You just want another one.
I know.
It's kind of addictive.
You come in with some grilled chicken or a
Yes.
fish, whatever you want, and you'd have the meal right there.
Well, that's why I threw a little egg on there. My husband loves cottage cheese on his, or a chicken breast that you've just, like you said, thrown on the grill. So then I can get away having this as an entree for dinner instead of just a side dish.
Make sure it's Prairie Farms cottage cheese, and you'll have everything you need.
That's right.
You're watching The Spiel.
You have to exude
That
confidence.
comes with knowledge.
Okay. All right.
It's like when we spoke Portuguese earlier, you were like, what?
Well, I pretended like I knew, like it was my third language, right? Yeah.
My name is Dr. Carterville Christie. I am a pediatrician here at Ray Clinic. Adults get sick all the time. They don't go right away to the doctor, but when a child gets sick, the family gets flustered and panics. So I kind of like that feeling wherein I could help the whole entire family and not just the child. I would never give a medication. I would never prescribe my own child. So if I know that I'm doing a test that's not necessary, hey, would I do this to my own son or wouldn't I? Then I wouldn't do it if I wouldn't even do it to my own child.
We're trying to make banking as easy and painless as we can.
We have a track record of doing business well beyond the county borders.
And there have been great opportunities, in Jackson County, Williamson County, people with the foresight to take some risk and do some things.
We try to have a direct relationship with all our customers.
How's it going?
Make them feel at home. We're a hometown bank. That's what we're about.
Celebrating 100 years. Find us at DuQuoinStateBank.com.
And you're watching The Spiel. You never know who will be on our set. And today, it's interesting, Royce, when you're given titles like the most influential in history of MMA.
Well, I am.
Okay, Royce Gracie, he is.
But I'm a product of my father's work.
There you go. That's incredible.
I'm just showing what I learned from him.
So for you, it was never about the history books. It was never about being the best, or was it?
It was.
Okay.
Growing up in a family like mine, where everybody is a fighter, everybody wants to be the best, I was like, where's my chance?
Yeah.
I want to do it too.
Yeah. How many siblings again?
My father had 9 kids, 7 boys, 2 girls. My uncle had 21, 11 boys, 10 girls.
Did you play nice with one another or no?
Never.
Never. Okay. It was like who survives, right?
It's a competition.
Yes.
So we're always competing. That made us good. It's a healthy competition.
At what point in your life did you realize, okay, this is my life's work, this is what I'm going to do? When did that happen for you?
When I came to America, about I was 17. I was 1984.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's what I want to do, and I want to fight one day. I want to prove it to my family that I can do this too.
Yeah. Do you feel like you accomplished that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. I would say you did. And it's fantastic to see you, because through the power of television, you can see, you're a nicely built gentleman here, but you're not the biggest of the biggest, the baddest, the toughest, but you were never afraid in the face of opposition of those individuals.
It's a question of, I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
So once you know what you're doing, it's easy.
Okay.
Now, I'm the same weight from the same 20 years ago, the first UFC. So 178.
Yeah.
Yes, and fought guys 6'8", 490 pounds.
You're like, they're going to go down just as easily.
Everybody have to breathe, so choke them.
Yeah. You know, Jared Dessop, we'll get to him in just a moment. Listen, we're both students. We're learning from the master here. Okay. You know, it is fantastic when you start reading these acronyms that you've been associated with and you've conquered. UFC, I mean, we all know UFC, and we think of it being the grudge match and the chain link fences and such. But to you all, it was probably a chance to show that what you're offering to the world in the way of defense is top notch.
It was a question of educating the crowd. In the beginning, everybody thought, well, those are just thugs getting in a cage and fighting.
Yeah.
But no, we're professional martial artists. We've been practicing this for our lives, and just to prove it, which style is the best, that was more like a quest for my family. It's to find out if my style really is the best. And after choking everybody out, beating everybody,
right,
in a nice way, because we didn't really drop blood and beat them up. We just subdued the opponents, being much bigger and stronger.
Right.
And we subdued them, and everybody was like, wow, this thing must work.
Yeah. There was like 4 in one night, I think. Is that still the record?
Yes, 4 fights in one night.
That's a lot.
You're a young guy. Listen, could you even do that?
Oh, with the techniques that he's given.
Okay.
I mean, it's a powerful art. Yeah.
Hey, I'll attest to that. I haven't walked around since our last little episode together, you know, very, very well.
But Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is the art of self-defense.
Yes, yes.
It's not, that's what would prove it in the cage, is I'm not going to lose to these guys.
Right.
So if they don't know what I know, it's going to be hard for them to beat me. They have to learn what I know.
Okay, so you can know your technique, and you can put your techniques to practice and to work. But how much of it is mental as well?
Again, you have to know what you're doing.
Okay.
Once you know, it's easy. Like speaking a language.
But you have to have confidence as well, right? You have to exude
that
confidence.
Comes with knowledge.
Okay. All right.
It's like when we spoke Portuguese earlier, you were like, what?
Well, I pretended like I knew, like it was my third language, right? Yeah. What is it that everyone wants to set a goal for themselves and achieve it, and you've obviously achieved multiple goals. What is it for you now, Royce? What do you need to do to feel like you've been successful in something else?
I'm very competitive.
Okay.
I'm about 4 years ago, I went for a run. After seven hours, 41 miles, I finally stopped and it's like, okay, I think I gotta go home now.
Dude, that's a Forrest Gump. Have you seen the movie? It's like, okay, I'm turning back.
No, I gotta go home now. 7 hours later, yeah, I'm always competing against myself. It's very hard to stand still.
Now let's go ahead and go a step further. You weren't even winded, right? After all that time and the distance and.
I got not winded, but my calves give up. I was like, come on, keep going.
That's fantastic.
I got cramp on both calves. I was like, okay, get the car.
Yeah. You know, you've done so much and you've accomplished so much, and what's encouraging to see is that you're not afraid to get out in the public and allow a person in a small Southern Illinois town to learn your techniques. Are you doing this 7 months out of the year? You say you travel and share your techniques?
All over the world, yes.
Wow.
It's about 7 months. It's like go all the way to Kuwait, get off the plane and go teach.
And you never get tired of it?
Love it.
Wow.
Love to see the people learning the new techniques and growing and getting confident.
Yeah. Well, this guy knows a lot of your techniques, and he tried to teach me. I mean, I'm a willing student, but you have to be proud of this one as well.
There's no such a thing as a good student or bad student. There's good teachers and bad teachers.
Oh.
So if you don't learn, it's his fault.
Touche. There you go. Let's talk about what you've learned from Royce Gracie. I mean, being able to train under him, come on. That's pretty cool.
Oh, it's like, you know, a lot of people dream of being able to play a one-on-one game with Michael Jordan.
That's it.
Or something like that, you know.
That's it.
For me, this has been my idol and everything, and I've gotten to travel around with him all week and spend time and learn from him and watch what he does and pick it up, and it's an honor, you know.
Yeah.
And
what is so fascinating, and what is it about the technique that there's, to me, it seems like there's something for every instance that may occur.
Yeah, so it's almost like we create a web that the guy gets tangled up in, right? And because we know what we're doing, whatever he does, we've got to answer for, you know. And then he kind of decides how he gets beat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I like that. See, that's not even confidence. That's just cocky. And I like that. I like that. You know, I love what he says, that you've trained for every situation. And then it was interesting, before the camera started rolling, I said, oh, we're just going to talk about a little thing, world peace, whatever. And you said, no, if there were world peace, you wouldn't need my techniques then. So Is it essential for people to start at this age, and it's never too late to start?
It's never too late to start. We have students that, 7 years old.
Yeah.
7 years. They started from knowledge. They want to learn.
Yeah.
Little ones, 5 years old, they don't know they're learning. It's like almost like they just come in to play. It becomes a play time. It's like, let's play. Until they get to about 14, 15, they start to realize, oh man, I know this.
Yeah.
I'm good at this.
And what I love, and I know it's a shared commitment statement, you're not going around looking for trouble. You just know how to handle it when it occurs. Is that what you teach your students, or what is the commitment statement?
We teach them, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is the art of self-defense.
Okay.
So I tell them, you guys might never use this. You might never, but you're not going to use it because you know how the people look us people in the eyes and say, they read on your forehead, hey, don't mess with me.
Right.
So that's confidence. You see on people's face.
Absolutely. What is it that you have to take a piece around with you constantly, and how you live with this talent, this skill?
Yeah, it enhances every area of my life. It's a mindset. It's a way of solving problems.
And even if you were going in for a job interview, you're like, hey, do you know who I try? Look at this. I am like I'm a weapon. Okay, I am something to be. I understand. There's a confidence level that comes in.
Confidence.
Yeah. Wow. You look pretty confident. You look confident. He didn't even bat an eye. He's like, yeah, okay, let's roll the cameras. Let's go. What is it that you want people to know about Royce Gracie that maybe they don't? Because they're going to read everything online, and they probably all ask you the same questions and such. Is there any part of you that you want to share that perhaps others?
I am stubborn and I'm patient.
Stubborn and patient.
Combination.
Wow, so you're willing to wait, huh? You wait it out. Okay, all right.
But that's the art of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, in a fight.
Yeah.
I had a fight that lasted for 1 hour and 45 minutes. 6 rounds of 15 minutes, 2-minute rest in between. It's question, okay, the guy was a very good opponent. Yeah. He knew what I was doing. He knew my game. He knew the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu art. Study, stronger, bigger. So we're going to fight. I'm not going to win when I want it.
Yeah.
I'm going to win when he makes a mistake, when he loses.
Yeah. Well, I asked Jared that. I said, listen, he's taught you most of all he knows, but you're probably always going to leave a little bit, right? A little bit unshared.
I can still outrun him.
While you were bodybuilding, how did you support yourself?
Yeah, I taught school. I taught mathematics in public schools for 13 years, actually, and at the same time trained and competed. That's how I made my living primarily up until I won Mr. Olympia and then turned post-professional before that, but actually I was a full-time school teacher as well as a professional bodybuilder.
At John A. Logan College, we make your future our priority #1. Your education should be all about you. We know that you're balancing work, school, and family, and we know that an education can change everything for you. There's a reason why so many students are choosing John A. Logan College.
Because it's where I won my confidence.
Discover John A. Logan College, where it's all about you.
I have had clients sit in my chair over the years and cry because their hair was so thin. And now we have a solution. Xenogen, a new hair loss product for men and women. And it's an all nutraceutical product. Your hair will start to grow back in fuller and thicker. I could not be more excited to help people that have hair loss issues and thinning issues. We are seeing really good results with this product.
In front of the Williamson County Airport in Marion, your final destination for style, Chauveau.
Like somebody grabs you by the collar and is talking to you, go ahead and simple defense, just control the opponent. If somebody grabs you by the neck, this way please, excuse me, with the hip throw. Comes in, you throw the person over. If I throw a punch, he blocks, he throws. We do it slow motion, but it's all about control.
I think we were both like-minded businesswomen. We landed an opportunity for expansion with Farmers State Bank.
So without Farmers State Bank, we wouldn't be here today on this successful endeavor.
Prepare to win, because no one serves you better.
No one.
And Farmers State Bank was willing to invest in both of us.
They're a hometown bank and they want to support hometown businesses. Discover the links the lending partners are willing to go.
Our businesses have both taken off.
With Farmers State Bank, My business is soaring to new heights.
When you're a Royce Gracie, is it kind of like the, is it the Rocky Balboa where they're always coming for you? They're like, I just want to match with that guy. Still?
No, they
No.
don't.
They've heard about you, right?
They read on my forehead.
Your reputation
Don't mess with
precedes
me.
you. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Right now at Proença, I just signed up for years. I built UFC, but now I just signed up with Bellator. So I'm the brand ambassador for Bellator now, just helping them out to bring the new talents and taking them to Brazil and to South America.
Nice.
I'm here for MMA.
Yeah, there you go. And you know, you had your father's footsteps to follow in, and while you have trained all these individuals all across the world, is there one person that you've taken under your arm that's going to continue your legacy? Or they all are going to continue your legacy?
They're all going to continue, but the one that really controls me is my little girl.
Oh.
She got me wrapped right around her finger. she got a lot of comments. She just looked at me like, Dad. I was like, okay, you win.
Very good. That didn't take long at all, right? Like 2 seconds she had you.
Yep.
Found out this morning that you've been featured in magazines like Black Belt and Inside MMA and Tap Out. But come on, Men's Health and Fitness, I see that. GQ, what? What? That's nice.
GQ is for the clothing,
not
for the looks.
Oh, okay. All right, I like it. See what happens? I mean, this
they
sport can
they
take
like
anywhere.
my white gi.
You know, everybody's wanting to learn to defend themselves and be able to make a difference, and this sounds like a real viable option.
My toughest opponent, it's my imagination. It's inside of my head. What people think that's going to happen, but it never happens. It's right there. It's all your imagination. The opponent might never even show up the next day.
Yeah.
But you won't sleep because you'll be thinking about what's going to happen.
You fought even a more difficult fight than what you'll face, is what you're saying. You've created every scenario.
And my imagination is very wild. My opponent's like 7 foot tall, 400 pounds, 2% body fat, 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 heads. If I can deal with that monster inside of my head, the opponent's nothing.
Yeah.
I'll beat him.
But that's the trait of a true champion. I think Denzel Washington has used some of your moves. Have you seen his movies lately?
A lot of them.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I want you to dish the dirt, especially on those like Chuck Norris, Jim Carrey, Nicolas Cage. Jim Carrey had to be an odd one.
Very strong.
Very strong?
Very strong, yes.
Really? Then did he crack a joke like
but
every
again,
time?
But again, there's no such a thing as a bad student, a good
Right,
student.
right.
I'm a good teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the Jared Jessups, you know, we've got him right here in Illinois, so you need to take advantage of it. Is there a way that folks can follow you and what you're doing across the world? Can they log onto your website?
Twitter.
Okay, Twitter. Oh,
on Twitter too.
Okay, all right, I like that. We'll tweet, we'll post.
Real Royce.
Good, at Real Royce. Okay, fantastic. Because there are some imposters.
Yes.
Oh.
There's a lot of those.
Oh.
Once a year, a friend of mine who's a law enforcement for a web, and he goes in and deletes everybody.
And deletes everybody. All right, all right. Well, thanks so much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, just a handshake, nothing fancy, all right? All right, thank you so much, and Jared, thank you so much. We'll be right back.
And I think it's just amazing how we have the time to spend with folks and talk to them, get to know who they are, both medically and just, you know, personally too.
I try to allow as much time as I can to address all the patient concerns and really get to know the patient, allow them to get to know me, and hopefully build a trusting relationship with them.
We do big city dentistry in a small town.
The satisfaction comes from knowing that you've helped some people.
You're watching The Spiel, and I tell you what,
Each episode gets better every time.
You know what? The audacity, you know? I mean, normally he comes in, he takes his place because he has to reiterate one of the guests we've had. You've never done this before. You're super excited.
I am so stoked today that I had to close the show with you because it was so fun.
The male version of Julie closing us out. Do you
Yeah.
think she would be okay with that? Could you be the male version? You look, I mean, you could be.
Yeah.
Royce Gracie.
Royce.
Was that the highlight of your day, of your week, of your year?
You know what? That guy has been one of my heroes for a long time, and it was an absolute pleasure to meet him.
Why? Why was he a hero?
Well, at one time I considered myself a warrior, and he was one of the kind of guys that you would look up to.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you're into that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. And you're military, and he talked about. Did you have any idea that he had trained our military?
I did actually.
Wow.
I looked it up online before I came here, but
Wikipedia is amazing.
I also found out that he trained Chuck Norris, and I thought Chuck Norris was the toughest of the tough, but
I think I already asked. Isn't he the Make My Day guy?
He was not the Make My Day. He's the lone wolf.
The lone wolf.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
He also had a TV show. I can't remember the TV show.
Were you surprised that
Walker Texas Ranger? Yeah,
that
he's
was
the Texas
good.
Ranger.
You like that? That was good. Yeah. Jim Carrey. He said he was strong. Are you surprised?
I am surprised by Jim Carrey. You would think that he'd make all kinds of funny noises and faces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you couldn't accomplish anything, but I guess the guy does get serious every now and then. So.
Well, you know, Royce Gracie has a sense of humor. Did I tell you what he did?
No.
When I walked out to the lobby to say hello, which we always do. You know, if you're a guest, we treat you with the utmost respect. And sometimes people just sit in, and when they're not even an invited guest, they just sit in. No. Anyway, so I go out to the studio, and he's standing there, and of course his stance. What's his stance? Do his stance for him.
Oh well.
Just stands.
She does the.
Yeah, just like that. He's standing there, right? Okay, I'm frightened. So I walk up and I go, "Hi, you know, I'm Angie," and he still has this look on his face, this stoic look, you know. And so the gentleman who brought him, Jared, I turned to Jared, I said, "Hey, good to see you again." He goes, "Okay." Royce Gracie starts talking Portuguese. And I'm like, "Great. No one told me." I'm like, "Jared, stay close. I'm going to need." I turn around, they start just bust out laughing, right? I mean, how else are you going to do CSI and
You were about to Google some Portuguese, weren't you?
Portuguese. I'm like, how am I going to talk to him? But listen, he's a rock star. He is a rock star. And he speaks English, which helps. Right? Okay, so the reason we're talking about Royce is our word of the week. It's a hard word for defend, which is what he does, right? He defends. I'm going to let you choose which one we're going to use, though, okay?
Okay.
Because these phones are fantastic. You can look up words and stuff. I chose not to go with your suggested word, which was?
Punctilious.
See, Pinkston, I gave you the opportunity to sit in, Jason Pinkston, and you chose not to. You know, what was it? Punctilious.
Pun?
Punctilious. Don't pretend. This is not our word. No, do not do any graphics. That's not it. It's not our word. All right, we're doing a fancy word for defend because you need to know these types of words. We could use entrench or espouse. Which one would you like to use? Means to defend.
Entrench. Let's use entrench.
You like that? Okay, this is the verb. Defend, protect is the definition.
What's the other one again?
You can have entrench or espouse, which you know nothing about. The espouse part.
I don't even want to guess that one.
No, it would not be good. We're looking for Matthew, for young Matthew here. You want to you didn't even take that and run with it. I mean, you could have given a phone number. I mean, this could be big.
Matt at
No, don't. Okay, Matt at SPIELON.com. Okay, I thought you were really going to give your phone number. All right, here we go. So we've decided we're going to do entrench.
Entrench.
Right? Which part are you going to take?
Trench.
Trench means?
To defend.
Very good. To protect. And that's going to do it. Thanks so much for watching.